Hey guys, your boy MKS again. Hope people aren't getting bored of me, but hope someone out there, as I often say, will like these videos. If you just stumble across this channel, please check out my other videos. As I say, overall, I would love to support India, but I did want to talk about some of the things I did disagree with about India, and also hear some of the converse side of the arguments. As I said, apologies for those who have already seen my previous couple of videos, because they'll probably be like, I've repeated that point, but anyone who's just stumbled upon this, as I say, also too, on the point of having an itchy nose, sorry, on the YouTube thing, before I made this video, it keeps asking me if I want to, if it's this video especially for kids, and I said, oh, it's for kids, and I said no, not because it contains any swear words, but the topic is more probably aimed towards people who are a bit older. But I suppose kids could also talk about what they like or dislike about India as well. For instance, if kids go to India, they might find, things that kids like to do, or that they might say there's not many activities for kids, or conversely, they might say how they love going to India. So I would love to hear from both sides of the argument. I'm thinking of some political issues, actually, like, for instance, the Kashmir situation. I was thinking of including this in some future videos about my opinions about Kashmir. Not sure if I should include them here, but I think I will, since I mentioned the point. But yeah, like, to me, before India, Pakistan, I think even Sri Lanka and Bangladesh were one country that have divided into four, if I'm not mistaken. Not sure about Sri Lanka, but anyway, because Bangladesh was a part of Pakistan, and before Pakistan seceded, or whatever you call it, from India, I think the word is seceded or whatever, after independence. I think because, I hope this makes sense, but because Pakistan was not a country before and it was part of India, for that reason, I personally think that it should be possibly a part of India. I want to be careful what I say, I don't want to offend anyone, but I think that there should be a peaceful resolution. I would love to see India and Pakistan work together more and have some sort of peaceful agreement. I think Modi, perhaps Indian Prime Minister Modi, could have perhaps had a better deal to sort of find a peaceful resolution, and could have perhaps handled it better. I don't want to stag off the Prime Minister of India or whatever, whoever the Prime Minister of India is. I want to get behind them. I know that's a bit contrary to what I put in the title, but I don't know if I always agree with him, or I think he's necessarily the best leader, but he is the leader India's got, so I will stick by him, because I do think India should be separated. But I do want, as I keep saying, sorry to repeat myself, I do want to look at the converse or alternative sides of the argument. So I would love to hear from people about perhaps what they dislike or even hate about India. I don't personally agree with hate. I think, personally, I hope I never hate anything. I hope to never hate anything. Maybe I dislike a lot of things, but I try not to hate. But yeah, going back to point 21, it's about the culture. I think, like, people in India say, this is what our ancestry used to do, so we should do it. But if your ancestry jumped over a cliff, would that mean you would do it? So I think I'm someone who wants to look to the future a bit more, but I'm not a big fan of culture, which to me means living in the past. But that's my opinion. Again, you don't have to agree with it. But, and like saying, as I said, 21 again, looking back at some of my other things I said, to recap some of them, things like you have to respect your elders, or things like that. So I don't quite agree with that personally. Again, that's just a personal thing. 22, I'm going to try and get on with the list quickly so I can walk the dog. 22, again, I'd love to hear from other people who can talk about things, reasons what would put them off supporting India, or possibly also people in India, what they would change or dislike about living in India. Even, like, say, for instance, I support India, but I still want to look at the other side of the argument. Maybe people, even if they say I'm still patriotic or I support India overall, but there are things that I think are negative about the country as well. Dare I say, I hope a lot of people around the world will support India, and I believe it's a just thing to do, but I still And there are even from the videos I made about reasons to financially or economically support India, I even recently have thought of more reasons I could have added. 23, this could go either way really, because as with much of this list, but like the harsh treatment of people with dyslexia or people who are poor, like the Dalits especially, or caste system, or people from minority religions, or young girls or women. I think conversely, you could argue that that is a reason to support India, but also support change, like to say that to invest in some of the poorer parts of India, or to give funding to some of the poorer parts of India, which is what I hope to do. So it can help Dalits to set up their own businesses, or to fund their defence teams, to give them rights, human rights, or help them politically, or lobby for better rights and things like that. So again, I think that could be a reason to support India, but also to look at making sure that the aid money or the funding that is given to India, the charity that's given to India, especially, I think which would be better than aid, is used to actually ensure that the poorer people and disabled people, people with dyslexia, especially in my opinion, and I personally love to support certain groups in India, like the poorest 10% of people, and the and people with learning disabilities such as dyslexia, autism, ADHD, neurodiversity, if you like, and Dalits, as I said. I'm sorry if I repeat that one. And females of all ages, including girls, to get a good education, females to be more involved in politics, and improving female rights, and the rights of the girl child, I think, and work with charities, NGOs, and all that, and also other like animal rights. Sorry, I don't know if I covered animal rights or things like that which you support. But I think if you do give aid or funding to India, it could be that we look at how that funding is given rather than just give them money. And I think there are good reasons. I do want to be careful what I say if I can help it, but I think there are good reasons to disagree with some of the politics or the government side of things, like, for instance, how the government handles a situation like Kashmir or Pakistan or other issues generally, and not trying to be like just tough and fight for the sake of fighting, but try and look for political diplomacy. And even if you believe that Kashmir should belong to India, I think you could look at how it could be done in a fair way, which has proper negotiation and discussion, and in the international community, and look at not just saying we're going to do what we want, or we want to show we're tough, but actually show that India show that it operates within international law and is taking the land that it is entitled to, but not land that it's not entitled to. If you know what I mean, I hope that makes sense. I say 24. I think if for any reason someone didn't support democracy, that could be a reason for some people not supporting India. Not sure why they wouldn't want to support democracy, but if someone thought democracy wasn't a great system, or the Chinese system is better or something like that, they might not want to support India. 25, I suppose if you're a monarchist, you might not want to support India. So I'm hoping to think of different reasons why some people might not want to support India, and also why certain groups might not want to support India, but perhaps I should also look at what groups I think should support India, not just my own personal reasons, but like if you support republics, I think you should support India. If you support democracy, if you support colonized countries or anti-imperialism, and in my opinion, justice. So I think there are many reasons to support India. Yeah, I'd like to hear from the opposite side as well. It's probably for the best, as I say, that I'm clutching at straws to think of these points. But yeah, I'd love to hear what people think are negative about India as well, or like the political system, treatment of the poor or women or other groups. 26, I suppose people who are imperialists probably wouldn't want to support India, or people who support who support Britain or things like that. So I suppose there are many reasons why people might not want to support India. Anyway, I'm probably going to wrap this video up and try to write in the comment section points 26 to 30. Okay, peace and love, guys.